Good morning, everybody. Today, I just want to talk about why stocks go up so much in a short period of time. For example, we're seeing GameStop right now, we're seeing Tesla, we're seeing all these companies that seem to go up like crazy, but in reality, there's so many stocks that do that almost on a daily basis. Um, but we don't talk about because they're not mainstream. They're not like well-known names. Some of them are just bunch of scam companies. And basically, the ingredients you need for those things to happen is number one is, or the number one and most important one is um, news. Some news, some hype, and another one very important, just as important, is the float. And the float is how many shares are available in circulation. All right. Just so you know, not all the companies. There's like 15,000, less than 15,000 companies in the Nasdaq and NYSE. I think combined, but there's thousands of companies, and they don't all have the same amount of shares. They don't. They all vary. The company that has the most shares in circulation is Apple with, I want to say, like 16 billion shares. And shares is just a piece, pieces. There's 16 billion pieces. Apple is cut into 16 billion pieces. Tesla was cut into like 400 million pieces. Now it's at close to a billion pieces. GameStop, it's cut into like 60 million pieces. Very little. So the less pieces there are combined with hype, the more the stock will go up. Positive hype, the stock would just go up because there's very little shares available. So the less shares available, the higher the demand and the higher the spread, and the quicker they run out. A stock like Apple, which is very popular, and it moves a decent amount because it's popular. That's the reason it moves a lot, because it's just a very popular stock. It's the biggest company in the stock market. That's why it moves how it moves. And even though it has a big float, it moves a lot because it's the biggest company. It's the most popular. But if you combine popularity with float, low float, oof, you get something like GameStop. You get something like BlackBerry. You get so many stocks like this that has happened like that. Blue Apron, um, eBay, like almost every company that's low float and got some hype into it, it shot up like crazy. And next time you see a company that's getting, maybe you notice that's getting a little bit of hype, but not it's not mainstream yet. Look at its float. Look at how many shares available, and that will tell you maybe this stock was about to like go up a lot. Neo, for instance, Neo had a float of, I think, like 700 million, and that's pretty low relative compared to like the hype. So it moved a lot. You got Li Auto, you got XPeng, all these electric car companies. They had very low floats, and that with combined with the hype, they move up like crazy. The demand is high because the supply is low. The supply of shares is low. Something like Shopify can move a lot because their float is also very low. Chipotle has a very low float. Amazon actually has a pretty low float, and it moves a lot. When it has news, it moves like it could move $100 in a day, but compared to its price, it's not that much. So pay attention to float. Pay attention to market cap. Market cap is just float times share price. And when you see a company that's low priced, look at how many shares they have, look at the market cap, and then look at a competitor that's bigger than that company and see what the market cap of that company is. So, for instance, Tesla is at more than half a trillion in market cap. Neo at some point was at, I think, 2 billion market cap, which is um, 250 times less than Tesla. But then with the electric car hype, Neo shot up because, you know, low float. The market cap was very low. It needs to catch up to Tesla in some form or another. So I said, like, you know what? I think Neo is capable of reaching a market cap of like 1/5 of Tesla. And that meant that Neo would reach around 70 to $80. And guess what it did? It's now at those levels. It's very close to, I think it touched like 60s. You know, I was in at $2.50, got out at $5, and I wanted to go back in, but I didn't because it shot up more. It didn't come back down, and then it reached $25. And I'm like, wait, well, the market's cap's still low. You know, it was like a 30 something billion. I'm like, it could go keep going higher. So I, bought some a little bit, and then it went up to like the 50s, and I sold some at the 50s. And right now, I don't think I'm holding anything. I mean, I only hold like 2 shares right now, I think. And before it's only like 20 shares. But a big move like that could make you like, a couple $100 here and there. And, that happens, and you find those opportunities when you pay attention to market cap, float, price, hype, news. So those are the ingredients: hype, news, catalyst, whatever you want to call it, plus float. It's gonna, low float, good news, stock shoots up high, fast. High float, good news, it shoots up kind of slow. So the less float, the faster it moves, the more volatile. And that's why GameStop is volatile. That's why it goes up and down $50 right now in the moment. Right now it's, I think, dropping. It's like a bubble. Tesla was not a bubble. It's backed by fundamentals. Just because it went up doesn't mean it's gonna stay up. Tesla is one that it's likely to stay up. GameStop is not. There's a lot of companies, penny stocks, that go up and come back down in the same day. They shoot up $10, come down $10 or more, and that's common. You know, penny stocks, penny stock traders like to trade companies with hype news and low float. There's companies that have floats of 1 million shares. That's very little, and they move a lot. Especially with high news, they can move a lot and fast, but they're very risky. Well, the person is risky. With inexperience, the person is risky, not the asset. If you know what you're doing, then you control your risk. If you don't know what you're doing, then you yourself is risky. That's all I gotta say with this video. So hope you liked it. I hope I clarified why stocks move the way they move, why GameStop moved the way it moved, why Neo, Tesla, Shopify, Chipotle, these stocks all have low floats. Oh shoot. And so that's for trading. For long-term investing, look at the fundamentals. Do a little calculation. A fun calculation is like, how much will a stock go up by in like 30 years? So, for example, you look at Neo and Tesla, all these electric car companies. Think about like how many people are gonna switch to electric cars? All of them, half of them? Can they afford them? Make these assumptions, these predictions, play with the numbers. And for example, if I were to do a calculation of Tesla, there's about 8 billion people in the world. There's going to be 8 billion people soon. Not all of them are people that could buy cars because, a good majority of them are children. Good majority of them are still broke. Some are too old. So the people that are going to buy a Tesla are probably going to be people that buy iPhones. People that have money available to buy iPhones. And there's about 700 million people in the world who have iPhones. And then, if you could buy a brand new iPhone, I think you could buy a Tesla, I would say. And let's say about half of those people buy a Tesla in the future, in the next 30 years. So now we're left with 350 million people buying a Tesla. A Tesla is worth, like, let's say eventually the price goes to like $30,000. And we're going to average it out. So you do 30 times 350 million times 3.5, which is how much you calculate um, profit in a year. To if you were to sell the company, you will say 3.5. It ranges from 2 to 6, but let's say 3.5 in the middle. And then profit margin, let's say they get like 10% profit margin, maybe even one, let's say 10%. And you also want to multiply times. Mm, okay. So 30,000 times 350 million times point 1 times 3.5. I think that's it. Equals, okay. I got an evaluation of 3.6 to the 12th power, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2. And this is the number we got. Damn. According to my calculation, we got a let me start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oops, I messed up. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Quick math gives me a 3.6 trillion evaluation in Tesla. So in 30 years, I think Tesla would be 3.6 trillion, which means right now it's at like 850, the stock price, and the market cap is like what, 7 billion, 750 billion, let's say. So divide this by this. Let's see. 3.6 divided by 0.75. So multiply this times 4.8. I get, you know, so in 30 years, this is a very basic, I'm not, this is some assumption. Stock price is going to go from 750 to $4,080 in 30 years. This is quick dumb math, like literally, if Tesla were to take over all electric cars, and but I personally think that maybe Tesla will have a lot of competitors. So let's say there's going to be five major competitors, and you know it's probably not going to be the 3.6 trillion. Not going to be this. It's probably going to be even less. Probably just going to stay at 1 trillion. So a lot of things we got to factor in 30 years we might have more than 8 billion people. I don't know, maybe a lot of people get rich and could afford Teslas, and Tesla does automatic car taxis. They maybe do I don't know, insurance. They already have insurance, but who knows what they come up with. you know Self-driving taxi cars is the one that people would like to talk about, but we'll see. um, yeah, I hope that you like this video, and do not take any of this as financial advice at all. At all. At all. Do your own math. Do your own math. Do your own little calculations. I'm not even going to use this method I used right now. I could be wrong on so many things. I didn't factor in a lot of things. But that's some quick math that I like to base it off of. And yeah, I hope you like this video. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.